Former Prime Minister Tony Abbott has rallied behind the Victorian Opposition leader Mathew Guy as his party faces an uphill battle to win the November state election. The Liberal State Council event is being held today. That's where we find our Victorian political reporter Simon Love. Simon, you spoke with Mr Abbott on arrival last night.
I did, Kieran, and it doesn't seem he'll be coming to this event here at Moonee Valley Racecourse, but it's certainly a bit of a G-up for the northern division of the Liberal Party, which held a closed-doors fundraiser at a function centre in Preston in Melbourne's north last night. It was a fundraiser of around $1,000 a head, of course, under that $4,000 donation cap that we've seen Mathew Guy become unstuck about. But the Prime Minister's presence has certainly buoyed some Liberals, particularly as they are lagging in the polls, and we'll certainly get to that. But here's what Tony Abbott had to say upon jetting into Melbourne. How can the Liberal Party win from opposition? That seems to be the theme of tonight.
No one thought we had a chance in 2010, and we did extremely well against a first-term government because we had a strong sense of what we stood for. And a Liberal Party which stands for things and which fights for things always has the hope of victory, the scent of victory in its nostrils.
They're pretty far behind, though, here in Victoria. They've got a fair bit of ground to make up.
I accept that, but the fact is the Andrews government has been a seriously bad government. It's been ethically challenged. It's been competence challenged. The hotel quarantine program, which ultimately caused the virus to leak out into the community at a time when almost no one had any immunity or vaccination and killed 800 people, was one of the most inept programs in contemporary Australian history. This is a government which plainly has broken lots of rules. It's created effectively a party state here in Victoria. So I think it's a target-rich environment for the opposition.
There's a lot of teals, though, running. Do you think that could be hard for the Liberals' prospects, particularly in Kew, with Tim Smith leaving there, with Sandringham, tight seats there, Hawthorn looks tight?
Yeah, look, people have to understand that a vote for Teal is effectively a vote for the Andrews government. If you want to keep the Andrews government, vote Teal. If you want to change the Andrews government, vote Liberal. Simple as that.
Do you think Mathew Guy? Do you back Mathew Guy?
Yes, I do.
Do you talk to him regularly?
I don't talk to him regularly.
How come?
Well, because I'm a former federal politician, and the issues are sometimes a little bit different. But look, I back the elected leader of the party. I want to see Liberal oppositions become Liberal governments, and I want to see Liberal governments stay in office. That's how I work.
There's a fair bit of Liberal baggage, though, after what came out with Scott Morrison, though. Don't you think Victorian voters would be sick of seeing what they're seeing there and not want to vote Liberal on the ballot?
Look, if you don't vote Liberal, you are effectively voting for the Andrews government. And the Andrews government is probably one of the worst governments Australia has ever had.
Mathew Guy, though, has had some integrity issues. There's things emerging with his chief of staff and wanting to top up his taxpayer-funded salary. That lost the momentum completely for him. Is that a concern for the Libs?
Look, the fact of the matter is, if you want to see the back of the Andrews government, there is only one thing to do in this coming state election, and that is to vote Liberal. A vote for anyone other than your Liberal candidate helps to perpetuate the Andrews government, which has been seriously the worst government in Australia's modern history.
Tony Abbott there last night when you caught up with him, Simon. What will Mathew Guy's message be to the party faithful today?
Well, he's going to go again on the suburban rail loop. This is the $34.5 billion orbital rail line that the government's proposed around the Bayside all the way up to Box Hill in Melbourne's eastern suburbs. You can hear the bell ringing behind me there, Kieran, as they try and get people inside the room for the for Mathew Guy's speech at 9:45. He's going to seize on costings that that the Liberal Party asked for and were released overnight that showed that there was a 0.7 cost-benefit ratio on that project. So today he'll be saying he'll be redirecting that money into health, and I hear too that the Liberals have got a new ad campaign that they'll be rolling out on Metropolitan TV from tonight, particularly focusing on health. The government, though, today, they're going to be focusing on health too. The Premier, Daniel Andrews, he'll be out with the Australian Nursing and Midwifery Federation, and there are still challenges, of course, for the Liberal Party after, of course, losing that federal election. Have seen Tim Wilson, the former member for Goldstein, around here. There's a bit of scuttlebutt that apparently maybe the former Treasurer Josh Frydenberg might be a show. He was seen at someone just told me before he was seen at a nearby coffee shop, so it'd be interesting to see if he turns up. And there's also a challenge for Mathew Guy, given that in the paper today, the former Liberal member for Kew, Tim Smith, has come out saying that he'd actually offered to resign in the wake of his drink-drive crash on the day last year and also the day after, but Mathew Guy asked him to stay on. Ultimately, he was asked to not contest that seat, and we're now seeing an independent emerge there. So fair bit going on and a lot of ground for the Liberals to try and make up today, or at least start today. Kieran?
Simon, thank you.